Hello and welcome to another video. So we have been working through this Codecrafters course, building a BitTorrent server, not a server, like client. So we've done some hashing. I implemented a SHA-1 algorithm, and now we're at the step where we're doing discover pairs, which is in essence just requiring us to do this request here, which is getting the announce URL, and we have this query string which we can see here, and if we send that then we should get back in response just that small amount. How do I get that visible? Yeah, so like I guess I need to do that with that echo. I see why it was there. And that sends us back a B encoded dictionary, which will have a dictionary showing the pairs, and these are some bytes which are showing basically these addresses here. But in the spirit of kind of doing everything from scratch, I'm actually kind of doing a lot more of parsing the. I basically spent all last episode, which unfortunately stopped abruptly. Apologies for that. I pushed the wrong button while like fiddling around. So I've basically gone and actually implemented a schema parser for like all of the parts of the URL, I believe. In fact, that's a bold claim. I just want that to be like that. So there is an RFC, which we had. I've been looking at a lot of RFCs. This one here, which is. I should probably link to this data tracker one, which I didn't realize is actually linked off Wikipedia, but the one I was using is like not as nice as this, I think, because like this kind of you can do a lot of stuff, but yeah, we can also hide that. Right, so this kind of is explaining how many. Explaining the URI standard, and it has a bunch of stuff, which, like, I don't know how much of it I kind of need to care about, but for what I'm wanting to do, I do need to reliably get a host, a schema, and potentially a port if one exists. And so here are some things, and I haven't actually got support for IPv6 stuff yet, which I will probably just add in. That's like reasonably easy to kind of handle. And gosh, is that? I suppose that is a schema, but it's like it's a schema and a half. Yeah, so I want the URI. So it should say somewhere kind of what it's all made up of. We have reserved characters, that's kind of mentioned. And this, in fact, says when to encode or decode. yeah, that's kind of what I think I have been doing. Yeah, so here we have what it is. So we're looking for a scheme. We are looking for that character and then these two characters. So we're basically implying that we have to have a this type of address. Which, like, I wonder actually. Nah, it really does have to, because, like, if you have a file scheme, you can have absolute paths, but then, like, I mean, a file scheme would be legit, but I think in this sense, I will just go for the HTTP and maybe others. So yeah, I need to look for a authority, and then the path A be empty. So I guess that stands for absolute or empty. And the authority scheme, bunch of things. So we're doing like a kind of weird scarf. So it's preceded by and terminated by the next slash, question mark, or number sign character, or by the end of the URL. So the authority includes all of that stuff, which I think I'm kind of splitting out. I suppose I haven't actually shown the finished project. So after this loop, I basically got it printing out at the end what it is, and that's all it is, and we can see here what it is parsing. So it has, from that string there, it's put null bytes at the kind of boundary points, so it can read these as just strings, but it still has a copy of the original data, I believe. It can reparse it from the raw filed bytes, which we still haven't freed, but I think we also don't need it anymore. Right, so we get that. I wonder if that info hash kind of changes because of the null bytes. I don't think it does. I'm just thinking out loud. This should have it in. Nah, that's looking pretty similar. Just a quick eyeball. And so, yeah, we can see here we have split it into like these parts, and the port it's worked out itself. So what I kind of want to do is make sure that this is working kind of how it should be. And yeah, also have some support for like IPv6. So maybe fix me support IPv6 literal address. I mean, that would never happen in an IPv6 address, but I don't know. If I don't know what I mean by that, and if someone wants to know what it means, they can just look up IPv6 literal address, and it will say it like right here. Because it can be like any number of things there, and I would just do a very naive find the first anchor, and then go to the end, and then find the next anchor. I could have IPv future. Oh, don't have a future one. Right, so then we could also have IPv4 address. I think it should support that out of the box, and then like more stuff. But what I was getting to was I think I want to kind of make this a separate command, kind of like I've got the hash that I can like split URL, something like that, and like here I can probably just pass it the URL, and split URL, and that can be URL. And this stuff up here, I wonder if I kind of could almost make a URL structure. So like we can type def structure of what does it have in it? It's basically got all of these things that we had already set. It will have all of these things and defaults to null quite nicely, and maybe we will get all of that and replace from the equals onwards with just a that, and don't need that. Oh, what? No. Thought I had it right. Oh, no, I don't want the... Yeah, so I'll just put it in that. Boom. That's what I want. And this can be a URL. It can really be a URI. I think is the correct thing. And then this, I can probably kind of get all of this and maybe that can be there. And then here we can like have a pass URL, and then we'll pass in here the const char star URL, and then we can just do that. And so I wonder if we need to have something more like this. URI. And we can just return a URI, and it will like just magically do it for us. Is that right? See, we do the right thing for us. I think, no, see, you can't do that. We do need to pass in the end here. So this is going to be a, I think I do want to call it a URL, and this is going to be a return type of the URL. And here we can probably, well, like, can I just return C return struct? Like, can I return a struct? I think I'm not allowed. Like if it's got so I can okay, I'll do it. This thing will return a URL, and then we can just do something like this, and it can equal something like that top one, buddy, and that will get rid of all that stuff. And so here we probably want to D2 there. So we want to start and an end. We probably do want that start and end. And yeah. So the end just exists. So here we would have rep.schema. I mean, that's like kind of hard coding stuff then. Boom. Boom. Yeah. So to remember what I was up to there. I think I want to do that and like, like maybe do this. And this we should probably do here, and like we probably will have got a pass URL, and this will be announce start and announce end. And I think I do want to if end equal null, then I want to make end equal p plus str of p, and we'll just assume that it's a string that we're passing in, which is where I'm planning on passing in from. So, what have we got here? We will get a URL from there. We can go URL.host, and we can probably get this schema check. Right, get this schema check and put that down here. later down here maybe. And that's euro.schema. Cool. So what else do we do up here that we should probably do somewhere else? This thing here. No, I think I don't want to fix me. That's just unexpected for. I think I'd have to think of a good use case, and it wouldn't be too hard to kind of figure out. Cool. So if that's that, we probably also need this and set the defaults. This end here we probably just need to not do there. We can do that. Or actually, I think like surely we need a host and a port. I don't know. Yeah, I think it will just be an error if we can't get a host or a port. Or the schema is. I think or the schema is this. But we also get the schema early on. So I think I'll go back to having this here. That right? Yeah. We can do that there, and this can be there. These are not. Like potentially even just print an error. And like things will just kind of catch up. And user and host, but both user and host can get kind of reset. I think I want this to be like that, just to not leak any memory or like not go out of bounds pretty much. So I think P should always be not no. Then we'll do a switch on that bad boy. Right, where do we get here? So I just want to make sure that it gets all the right things. So here it ain't const. We're gonna change it. I wonder. Yeah, we're not gonna. We're gonna change it. Otherwise, it's like kind of you got to pass it the memory of how you basically have to dupe it anyway. And I feel like that should be on the other end of who's doing it. Yep. Alright, so we don't know this. That is because that's a ret. This is a ret. And it will just tell me things if we do that. I think that's all right. Can we do that? Yeah. Here we can do URL dot, and it's the same here. Right, we don't have a reference to split URL. What did we call it? We called it parse URL? Parse URL. Yes, we called it parse URL. So where do we do the parse URL? Yeah, I just kind of want to get this and kind of we can just change it on the stack. We shouldn't ever do any okay. Oh no, we just want to change this to be IV2 and null. You can work it out. Cool, so now I think I have this, what can I do? I can just change that. And now if I do this, I should have a, it's getting to the point it would be kind of useful to print out what I have put as my commands. Not that one, the app main, down the bottom here, I called it split URL. I kind of want to call it parse URL, parse. So we can call it pass, cool, and then we can just pass it random things. So we could do something like https google.com and see what that says. So it found out schema, couldn't work out the port because we haven't told what the default port for other things are. Got the host, so the port it didn't get. So didn't get that, but why don't we stick with just HTTP, but we could, instead of that, we could do like user at pass, user pass at example.com, and it can be on port 123, and it can have a pass of this, and then a query of this, and booyah, and it might have a hash, who knows, and we can see there that it has kind of broken that all down into all the different parts. The query, we can join back up in our when we finally get to writing the data to the network port. and then we know that it starts with a question mark. And if query is null, so like in all these cases, query is null, path is null, query is null. If path is null, we just put a slash. If path is not null, we put the path. If actually no, if path, we should always put a slash because it doesn't have it there. And then if query is null, we just put nothing. Otherwise, we put question mark and then the query. It's looking kind of cool. So what I might do is maybe a look-see to see what I haven't done. So this I should add. I haven't done that. URI print, I think we can probably do all of that stuff is good. So the pairs file we have not done yet, but we've kind of got some stuff that we kind of have an idea on what we're doing. And then here we have pairs and paths. Cool. I'm happy with that. So what I might do is maybe add that whole lot, and then just get this add pass sub command to split URL. So this is basically showing that we can split the URL. Not quite like the atom, but comes close. Right, so now we need to go back to, we need to look up thing, and what was that? Well, we had some code in here. So we can go back here and go to app main. So we had host name. So maybe we do that host there. Cool. So after we get the host, this whole thing is just trying to get the IP address of the host. So maybe if we uncomment that, we can probably look and see what the result is. So what does the result give you? You had like an example that we can read. Right, so it returns a list of structures, hence us giving us the pointer to a result. So we're just going to try and connect to one, I guess. We could try this round robin approach as well. If it connects to one, it doesn't. Yeah, easy. And so here we can, in fact, like that feels pretty good to me. So I feel we definitely need to check this result. And so we try and connect. If we connect, then we yeah, it's kind of interesting. We free it and then we check something that potentially points to the right thing, and surely we don't use that RP anymore. Yeah, we have just opened the SFD, which I assume is just a socket. Yep, I feel like that is good. So I want to make sure that it's not a place for all of that. I want to make sure that we're going to get so we just do mem set. I feel we don't need to do that. We can just do that. And this should probably start off being null. And so if result I kind of want to just see what that one, and yeah, sure, results, and maybe change this to a P, because surely it's a pointer object, so like it might actually just change. And like, so if we go back to the info, cool, it doesn't know these things just yet, so it wants a URL. We have these things, that's all right. Maybe I want to set make problem info things. Actually, no, I don't want info. I want the peers. It's very like orange when it does that. I'm not too sure why. Right, it needs to know buff size. That is because that was given in here. What is it? Come on. Buff size is 500. Is there any specific reason for that buff size? We are going to use that buffer way down there. We'll just do that for now. Maybe I'll just have that there. It's printing stuff. Right, so here. Oh, does this actually want a string? Surely not. Oh no, const char service. Right, so what is the service that we want? Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, I gotcha. So what it's kind of interesting. We'll get out there. So there's this file, etc services, which is kind of a mapping of port number and type and name. So it kind of means that I can go like get int port services, and I can be like, what is the service for 28? And it'll be like, it's 22 TCP, and it will just know that. And it kind of means that it's implying that we can have a URL like http foo SSH blah. Well, that would probably have HTTP there, but like, I don't know. We've already parsed the string into a number, but what we can do is modify our URL that. Main. So I'm thinking I might actually move that URL out into a separate thing, and we can make a separate library out of it. But maybe after I give it some more functionality. So I think here I want this char star port, and we can potentially just have int port number. We can call it port num, maybe with that. So here, where do we have the port? So one will be that, and one will be that. Ironically, they are the same value in C, but I like it being just a bit clearer. So here we can kind of start off saying in this thing we can have ret.port equal to in fact, yeah, we're always going to do this p that, so this can just be equal to p plus 1, and maybe p plus 1 is less than end. It's probably a good call. So here we can say num so if it wasn't, we actually want to set port back to null, but it's ret.port. Or do I want to do it? Because we don't really need to set it, but we can set it here to p plus 1. Plus 1 is less than end. If we do that, then we do that. Otherwise, we don't need to do anything there. All we need to do is set that. Let's do a quick. Cool. Valid schema. Doesn't like that. I know why. Right, so here we want to say port number, and in fact we probably want to say port number. Well, actually we can almost say something like that, and yeah, so if port number is 0, we can just set it to be whatever the schema is. I think that's what I want there. Because then down here, and that still kind of doesn't like things. yeah, then down here we can have something like URL.port num. Cool. And URL.num. Do that, and then back here we are doing this, not that. Cool. So that did a thing. If we did this info, if we did the pairs, I don't want to debug it there. Pairs sample, so that should print out all the stuff that it's getting. Didn't like the schema because we're passing it the wrong thing. It's kind of good test, but ironically, well, not ironically, but if we did your BitTorrent hash, your BitTorrent, and we had pass, user colon pass at example colon port slash path query hash, something like that. And I wonder if like it would get confused at stuff like that. Yeah, it will. So after the hash, everything is a hash. Yep. But yeah, that, yeah, can't find the host name. It's oh, I don't know why I can't find the host name. I've broken things. May broken things. Host. Right, so we would set host to be null here, which is if port num is not equal to that. That's all good. Otherwise, we would check it after the thing. Oh gosh. Pass HTTP use. Let's test just example.com. See if you can get it. Right, you can get that. Couldn't get anything in the path. Right, it's got it there. And if we do like a random thing, or that crashes, that is most likely because we are should set that there. I don't know. Kind of interesting that that SEGFAULT's there, but that is all right. What if we Yeah, so if we give like an extra, oh yeah, interesting. So that gets us the port. Cool. So there were a couple of issues. So like, if we did like user at example, oh, this isn't actually printing the user and password and stuff, which would be kind of interesting to know. User pass. And I think I don't need to worry about having it pre-passed, but it is pre-passed. Could have just copied from above. That's right. Cool. So what's this doing? It's going to use a pass. And now we can start seeing what was happening with. We didn't have it here. A parse? Nah. Of course. Cool. So I guess I just want to pass it myself because I've changed like a bunch of things. Path query hash. So it can get that. Does it get confused here? No. Does it get confused here? No. I mean, this is kind of looking good. So maybe this whole thing was a hash. Yeah, so hash was the other thing I didn't do properly. So I believe, which we can potentially look up here, everything, well, in fact, here we can see query and then a fragment. So the query does come first. So if a question mark does come, but if a hash comes, that's the end of it. You can't get any more. So I think I might just go p equals n, something like that, and that will probably deal with that problem. And then you can see there that the query and the hash got put all in one, and so the query will always come first. So it picked it up. So now I guess the problem is if you have like a query in the middle of a host, it kind of means that you haven't. Yeah, so if query happens, if we're checking for a query, and if rep.path is null, that basically means that we haven't gone through past the here part, which is the authority with the path, which will in all cases need that slash, and authority, it doesn't need it. Then the path must either be empty or begin with a slash. But if it's empty, then it'll just be end of string. So it has to start with a slash. So if there's a question mark in the host name, that means that it is invalid. So maybe we'll just do printf. And like, this is an invalid URL. Unexpected query, expected path before query, something like that. But we'll continue going on because it's sometimes useful just to do that. But I wonder if actually if there's any parsing, we should see. We do return that. What we can do is valid, or we can just do invalid, and it should default to 0 being false on that line there. So I suppose what we can do is ret.valid equals 1, and here ret.valid equals 0. And every time we get a print, which is probably something that should be done by a macro, but it is what it is. And so if that is the case at the end of it, we just need to check whether it is valid or not. So here sounds good. Valid, and we can set it to that. So where else do we do that? There. So if we run that again, it's invalid, expected path before query. Cool. And so if we did that, valid is 1. And so it had something else like user pass at. And like, what if we never did that at? See, this is another problem that we're still in like the user mode, and we don't want that. So back to the drawing board again. So what would be the case if this case? We will be looking for user because we're thinking we're a user or a host, and I guess here it's said that. We get to there, we are now parsing the pass. Now the pass can't have certain characters in it, I believe, which we're not really catering for here, I guess. But I'm just trying to split, because the split is what you need to do. So basically, if we get up to a slash, and here we should be in a case that if ret dot host equals null, we've got a problem. And expected host before path. And potentially we should just return rep here, and instead of doing this, no, I will do it because it's useful to see other places that might be failing on. Right, so expected path before query, and so now it should be, can't find host name, but surely it got to path and host should be null. Which it's saying could not find host name, but it's finding it like way down there. Not when we get here. But this isn't the only place it switches into being a path. It's also after and like it's kind of an interesting one here. Like, what if I have a password that is just digits? This would treat it as not a password. Actually, yeah. That way it will always get treated as a password. And then if you see another one, so this is probably going to have the whole thing as a password. No, it didn't. Couldn't find password, but then it's got the user, and the pass is 80. So user has done like quite a greedy search. But if we did something like this, yeah, then it will complain about that. So now kind of what I think is, what if I have a user and just like a PIN number at example.com. And what does this break out into? It does break it out into the password. Cool. I suppose because we do something, surely. Yeah, so I suppose it finds something that's not a digit or a slash, because it found the at. Yeah, that makes sense. Cool, so this was an invalid. This was also invalid. Oh, this was valid, but this was also valid. host before path, and this should be setting ret.valid equal 0 and not returning ret. Dot valid equal to 0. Cool. Yeah, I don't want it too much. Yeah, because then it will say kind of multiple things. So expected host before path. So we got all the way up there. So we didn't find the end of a password. Though it doesn't actually say the path is there. Oh, I suppose because we found that and then we just decided that's the path. That should set the path. But surely at some point I set the path to be... I see, we probably did that and then we did break. And we set path to be that. We explicitly set port host to be null. Forget that. But then when we get a colon, when are we setting the pass? Like in a valid case. Yeah, we're not actually setting the pass. So we should set the something like this. And then with this big long one, yeah, we should get user pass example, and then it will get that extra date, and it will say, no, it's that. And like these are all like malformed things. So I think I want to go back to some early on like that, yeah. Debug pass this thing. So if we run this, we're switching at P, and so what is P? It is 0. So where do we set P equal to 0? We set star P to be 0 quite a bit. So I don't know where. I think I just need to check that. So I think I want to break at this point, and we can run it again, and we can see what's up with our P. So it's at there at the moment. And it should, so after the colon, it's set. I think I need to restart that again and here go in. Right, so it's a colon. Should be nothing. Maybe do a display on temp as well, so that's where we're looking at temp. Sure. So then that should set that. Cool. Port num. I don't know. It does have something in. Yeah, it should do. So we should set that. We set p to be rect.path. Cool. I think I now remember why it was that before. Because I was thinking it would never set p to be false. But yeah, I think that's that. So if we do that, then yeah, cool. And if we do like, I don't know, that one, that's still invalid. If we do this bad boy, it is valid. Cool. And if we take the hash away, it should get a query. If we take that away, that should be part of the hash. That makes sense. If the path is empty, but if we do that, couldn't find the host name at this point. I feel like we should probably give a wee error if the path isn't set. Path before. What is this called in the thing? Fragment. We'll call it a fragment, and we will also do all over replace anchor with fragment. Yes. And then that should just get me the right thing. Alright, expected path before fragment. That is good. So if we did something like that, and I don't know, like what if we started off a port, but then, well, that's kind of what I had before. Reckons the pass is 0 there. Interesting. What was it like in this case? I've pulled it all together there, but it didn't like it there. I suppose I don't have like the logic of coming back to something. Cool. So stuff like that. And what if we had something like we could have a, what does this complain as? Right, so it thinks that's a just a normal pass, which kind of makes sense. But what we could do instead is up where we get that URL, we can detect whether it is a, so this is looping character by character. We can detect if it is, maybe after this one, maybe here, case, if it is a square brace, then we probably want to do that. And I mean, if it's that case, then potentially I want to do it above here, just because it's got that kind of like multiple things. I just realized I'm slowly getting in the dark, and I probably look quite horrible to you. I'm finishing up soon, so it's not the end of the story. Right, so I guess if this is the case, what we want to do is we don't want to set it to be null. No, we don't want to do that. But we do want to go from the end while temp is less than end and stars temp is not equal to that. And just do that. And I think that's that. And we can make sure that this is ret.host equal to null. Not equal to null. We want it to equal to BP here, but I guess we want to check first whether we are in a mode kind of expecting a host, because like if we are like this, imagine we didn't have this sort of stuff in here. That's kind of still part of the password, which that's kind of looking good. But if we did something like this, then the host becomes that. That is good. So it should see that brace first. So yeah, what I think I really want is maybe just while p is less than end and p is less than that, do p++, and something like that. And then p will become not the thing, so it should go on to the next thing. And we can see here that it has kind of worked. ABC, if we did that. The port, expected host before path, it didn't like this, so it can't see this. If I did 2, then it, is it because, no, I do need to actually put the port number. Yeah, cool, so I think this is going well. So let me check it still gets the hash. That basically paves the way to put stuff like this in. So now it still doesn't like it. So I think it didn't get caught up in here. Hey, it is what it is. Because when it gets here, it should set host to be that. Now I think, yeah, I just want this to be that. Because and are there any more that are kind of, we want to see the first character of everything, even if it is what it is, because we're skipping over the character that we care about. I think that's probably good. That still looks good. And then here, if we put in an IPv6 address, it should just work. See, boom, easy peasy, and it should just work from the start. and if you don't put in 80, it should just know what to do. Well, it sets your port to be your scheme, which means you should then work out what it is the gist I get. But I think I'll find out that more later, because I think this has gone on a bit long enough. But I mean, I've done a bunch of parsing of URLs, so it is a fragment. We do that. We have a valid pointer. We set it to invalid if it isn't invalid. Do some tweaks with the ports. Check for IPv6 literals. Check for a bit more error cases. And I think that's good. This is, I don't know, it's just doing a thing. So I guess that means if we do the info, not info, pairs, it should hopefully give us the thing. Right, so this is still pointing to the wrong place. We can figure that out. But yeah, if we look at all this, I think that is all good for just adding and maybe doing CC. More work on URL parsing. It's kind of the negative case of the URL parser, but you kind of want to make sure it's done good, because if it's not done good, someone is going to fuzz it. And I mean, this isn't good. I'm not saying it is, but I try and do the things that check for the things in the right places, if that kind of all makes sense. But yeah, I think that's it for now. I'll get into the actual making a TCP socket in the HTTP part soon, I promise. But just want to make sure everything's done just right. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, check out all my other content. I've got quite a lot of content like this, doing various other things in the technology space, as well as I play games, and yeah. Oh, well, thanks for playing, and until next time, see ya.